Okay, so the end of Payday 2 is here pretty much. The story is finally being wrapped up with the end of the secret. But there seems to be a lot of questions still surrounding it. A lot of people are confused about what actually happened at the end of the secret. So I thought I'd quickly summarize it now, just go over some of the key bits, what the dentist's plan was, what happened at Bane, what the requirements for the secret are in the first place, and just clear up some of the confusion about it before RandomKenny makes a video on it, which he obviously will do. So, the requirements for the secret in the first place. The three kings had their three coffers. The three kings, which we pretty much know at this point, were the dentist, the elephant, and Vlad. Vlad couldn't be bothered with all the king stuff. The elephant, I guess, just went into politics more than being a king or whatever he was doing before. And the dentist sort of kept his dream, or he liked power, so his plan was to take over the world, but I'll get to that later. The requirements of the secret are each of the king's coffers. So the first coffer is the one which you find in Golden Green Casino, the dentist loot. That, once you steal it in Golden Green Casino, goes to the dentist, except because the dentist is allied with Kento, who's the leader of Kataru, it gets stored in the Kataru warehouse, which is Henry's Rock, and that's why you get it from Henry's Rock. Vlad's coffer, which I guess just stayed with the dentist all this time, is also in Henry's Rock, so that's why you get those two boxes from Henry's Rock, because it's the Kataru warehouse and the dentist is the leader of the Kataru. The elephant keeps a good hold of his coffer, which is why when he gets arrested, Commissioner Garrett takes it off him. Commissioner Garrett then tries to exchange the box for Bane with the dentist, so then the dentist would have all three of the boxes. He'd also have the diamond, and I'll get to the significance of those later, but you go in Breaking Feds and steal the box from the commissioner. And then in Henry's Rock, when you get the other two, that collects all three of the boxes. The medallion that you collect in Brooklyn Bank is needed to open the coffers, so you need to do that as well. Once you have all of these, they will be trophies in the safe house. If you display them, go and pick up the medallion and then interact with the coffers, you can open them all. You find out that the elephant and the dentist's coffers have actual parts in them, which you can take out and put on the table, but the third one, the coffer of the scribe, which is Vlad, his does not. That is the obsidian plate, which you get from the Shacklethorn auction heist. So, upon completing the Shacklethorn auction, you will get the obsidian plate, which also displays as a trophy in a safe house, and combining all three things will make a weird a spinning, I don't know what it is, it's a spinning object thing. So those are the requirements for the secret. You also need the diamond, but after stealing it from the museum and giving it to the dentist, it seems like the dentist gave it to Vlad for safekeeping. I'm not sure why, but then Vlad sends it to the Payday gang. So then the Payday gang has the diamond, the three coffers with all their parts, and the medallion as well. So they end up getting all the pieces that the dentist was actually trying to collect in the first place. Now we move on to the dentist's plan. The nukes going off around the world during the breaking news event, they were obviously related to the dentist because he seemed to be on flights going to those places and all such things. It seems it was never confirmed that it was nukes that he was setting off, but as there's nukes found in the Hell's Island mission, which sort of proves that the Kataru has access to nukes, it was probably nukes. It may even be the nukes that you stole in the Meltdown heist for Vlad, who then possibly sold them on to Murky Water or the Kataru, or even directly to the dentist. But the dentist's plan in the first place was to take over the world. Well, that's what it seemed to be anyway. At the very least, his main plan was to keep on living, really. So the Ark of the Watcher is the main thing in the secret. It's the mystical device that has all the power. It's granted by the magic alien Nephilim giant thingies. It's what the three kings got all their power from. It's the magical device that they talk about. It's Baldwin's lament. It's that very same device. So the dentist's plan seemed to be to nuke or cause some sort of similar destruction to the four pyramids. Now the pyramids are referenced on the obsidian plate as being the Dreaming Temple, the Great Pyramid of Cheops, the Great Ziggurat, and the Pyramid of the Sun. He successfully destroyed or caused some sort of destruction to the Dreaming Temple, the one in the middle of the ocean, and the Great Pyramid of Cheops, the one in Egypt. At the end of the secret cutscene, Offshore Payday, It is shown in the little news bar underneath the final broadcast that we see by Rachel Riggs that there was a unidentified nuclear device recovered from Mexico, which points to the fact that he was planning to nuke the Pyramid of the Sun next, which is in Mexico. So if the dentist was trying to nuke all 4 of the pyramids, that sort of indicates that he was trying to open the portals that are referenced on the side of the rings, which are found in the coffers again. It says something along the lines of where the 4 stand, portals shall open, which could be referencing the Nephilim. Portals in the first place doesn't sound like a great thing to happen, especially when the dentist is the one who's causing it. But overall, the dentist's plan seemed to be to take over the world. During day 10 of the event, it was stated that the president went missing along with Air Force One crashing, which was probably the dentist causing some sort of chaos and then kidnapping the president. The next step of the dentist's plan seemed to be taking the Mayan gold that the Payday gang got from Overdrill in the First World Bank, using it to power the Ark of the Watcher, and therefore turning himself into the president, which then would give him control of all of America. Pretty much control of what he wanted. I'm not sure what would have happened if the dentist had successfully opened the 4 portals, but it probably wouldn't have been good for the entire world, and definitely would have helped the dentist in his plan somehow. Next up is Baldwin. Baldwin has been constantly referenced at the start of the game in the Guide of Bane, and we finally find out what happened to him. It said he tried to steal the device, or steal the object of power or something. Turns out he didn't try to steal it, he just tried to use it. But without any of the kings knowing. Baldwin was a watcher, so that made him sort of responsible for the kings, looking after them and watching over them and all that, except Baldwin, who is seen stained to the floor as some sort of energy mark or something in the secret room, he's a bit dead there. He didn't try to steal the device, but he tried to use it without the dentist or anyone else knowing. And the reason he died was because he used impure gold. The gold he used wasn't from Overdrill. I'm not sure what makes the gold from Overdrill pure. It might be because it's Mayan or something, but all we know is that Baldwin didn't use pure gold, and because of it he died. And that's why the device is called Baldwin's Lament / Ark of the Watcher, whatever. Next up is what happened to Bane. Well, in the final sequence of The Secret, you enter a mine shaft and go down a secret elevator sort of thing. Now this was discovered and referenced in one of the paintings called The Dig, and it shows some miners or diggers or whatever. They found the door to the Ark of the Watcher, but they seemingly don't know how to open it. Now the dentist, he was trying to use the Ark of the Watcher to turn into the president. So he'd sacrificed the president to the Ark of the Watcher. The next step for him was to take the gold to the Ark of the Watcher, power it up, use it, turn it into the president, control America. However, the Payday gang got there first. I'm not sure if Bane knew exactly what the device did or whatever. The reason he got kidnapped in the first place was because the dentist knew that he was catching on to what the device was, and he didn't want him to find it before him. So he kidnapped him and injected him with some sort of mysterious virus. I'm not really sure why that was necessary instead of just killing Bane, but he did it anyway. So when we steal Bane, Bane is obviously dying, there's no way to cure him. So the next step is to turn him into someone else to save him. Because, you know, just logical. So once you're in the room with the Ark of the Watcher, you'll hear the dentist giving some narration, whatever, blah blah blah. He's got Locke and Bane held hostage at gunpoint. It's most likely he can't get in, and that's why he needs you to open the door, and that's why he's holding Bane and Locke hostage as a last resort, instead of just opening the door and killing you by surprise. The diamonds and the parts from the coffers were needed to open up the door into the Ark of the Watcher. And the dentist has none of them, which most likely means that he can't open it, and since you've gone in and closed the door behind you, he has to use your friends as, well, bait really, to try and get you back out so he can come in. I'm not sure why he didn't expect you to shoot him as soon as you came out. Maybe he thought it would be too much of a risk that you try and shoot him when he had Bane and Locke held at gunpoint, but I don't know. You kill him, he can't kill them in time. The next step is Locke wheels Bane into the Ark of the Watcher, You power up the Ark of the Watcher, and something happens. There's a load of lights, mission successful. You have no idea what's happened. However, when you get the final 2 cutscenes, it's obvious that something is up. The Payday gang's retired, they seem incredibly happy and upbeat. Everyone seems content with what's happened, and then when the news comes on, the president seems to be sort of odd. It seems like he's rewarding Commissioner Garrett for arresting you, or getting the Payday gang finally done with, really. After he's given a speech, using quite a lot of references to upcoming Payday 3, things such as he's going to make America 3 times as powerful and everyone's going to get their pay and all that. That's definitely confirming that Payday 3 is coming out, even though it's confirmed before. His final words are, "America, let's do this." And that's in the Offshore Payday video. In the second video, Rumours and Stories, the final line is that Bane pulled off the greatest heist. His final words will echo around heisters, blah blah blah, whatever. His final words are, "Let's do this." So the president's final words of the game are, "Let's do this." Bane's final words were apparently, "Let's do this." Basically confirm that Bane turned into the president using the Ark of the Watcher. Also, if you're wondering what happened to the Kataru, they're not coming back. It says in the news banner at the bottom of the screen during the president's speech that the Kataru, or Murky Water as their front is, have filed for bankruptcy, so they're gone, they no longer exist. Kento is dead, the dentist is dead, they've got no leaders, they got no money, they're done. The dentist is definitely not coming back. A few people are thinking like, oh, maybe he could become a villain for Payday 3. No, he's dead. He's immortal, not invincible, which basically means he didn't age. He didn't die of age, but he could still be killed. So the reason he didn't die of age was because he kept using the Ark of the Watcher to transform into other people. By killing him, it means he's no longer alive to use the Ark of the Watcher, therefore he can no longer turn into anyone else. So yeah, Bane became the president, the dentist's no longer coming back. Also the other cutscene, the end, which isn't really the end, it's just the wrong end. The Somewhere in Mexico cutscene, which is supposedly Bane's funeral. A lot of people have wondered whether this is actually canon with the story. I mean, I guess it could be, they all seem pretty depressed and sad. And it could just be a funeral for the Payday gang, because they all retire after this, and that could be symbolised by them throwing all their masks into the pit. And you never see a body in the pit, so it's not confirmed if it is actually a pit for Bane, or just the symbolism of the death of the Payday gang. If it was the death of the Payday gang, so they were just having a funeral to the Payday gang, saying goodbye to their old criminal lives by throwing all their masks into it, then that will probably be canon because it's not confirming that Bane's died or anything. However, if you want to assume that that is a funeral for Bane, then it's probably not canon as he's turned into the president in the other ending, which wouldn't really make sense, because the entire Payday gang would know he's not dead. Bane or Locke must have told the Payday gang what was happening with the Ark of the Watcher at some point, because when they watched the president's speech, they all seem very supportive of him. They seem very happy to see him, happy to see what he's doing. And I guess that's because they know that Bane's been reincarnated as the president, and therefore saved. The reason the gang becomes retired, really, is because they don't need to steal the pardons anymore. Bane becomes the president, he can legally pardon them all. And by putting the credit of capturing the Payday team and bringing them down on Commissioner Garrett, he's happy because he's got what he's finally wanted, even though he hasn't. He's probably pretty confused about that. That means Bane, or the president now, is the only one who really knows what happened. He pardons the Payday gang, says to the entire world that they were captured by Commissioner Garrett. Commissioner Garrett's only slightly confused, he thinks he's done something well and brought them down. It all ends up pretty well. The final thing I want to mention is what's going to happen in Payday 3. It seems as if the entire crew has retired now, the main enemy's gone, the main contractor, really, Bane, he's gone. In the Rumours and Stories video, it seems like a lot of the gang have moved on with their lives, really. They've set up new lives to themselves, they're enjoying doing that. So, what could happen in Payday 3? Well, the best theory I've seen so far is that some new heisters come along, not sure who they'd be, and the old heisters, such as Dallas, Hoxton, Chains, they would be the contractors now, such as Hoxton with his casino. He needs you to help take down a rival casino or something like that. So you like stealth your way into that casino, steal all their money. Hoxton pays you as well because you've taken down a rival casino. That seems like the most obvious way of Payday 3 going, that you help out the old heisters with their current, well, problems really. I mean, at the end of the day, they are still criminals. They're ex-criminals, but they're still criminals. So they're never really going to give up in doing things in a more questionable manner. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that cleared some stuff up. RandomKenny will probably have a video up anytime now. And this video will probably be redundant, but until he uploads that, hopefully this clears up a few of your questions. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.